Illawarra, South Coast and Southern Highlands. This is Win News.
Tonight, police hunt arsonists as a Jervis Bay blaze is contained. Masks no more. Authorities scale back COVID restrictions from Friday. And beachgoers leave their mark with piles of rubbish. Welcome to Win News this Wednesday. I'm Bruce Roberts. Also tonight, a table full of Aussie favourites returns to production lines at Bega Cheese. Police suspect arson with two fires believed to be deliberately lit in the Shoalhaven yesterday. In the Bulletin National Park, more than 340 hectares was burned, with tourists fleeing campgrounds during the peak holiday period.
A southerly change was the Shoalhaven's saving grace. Only 20% of the region's bushland wasn't burnt in the Black Summer fires. Then yesterday, someone tried to set what was left alight.
It is extremely disturbing, especially that we're not that far from our worst fire season that was experienced in the Shoalhaven, for this to happen again so soon thereafter.
Flames, fuelled by scorching temperatures, rushed towards Jervis Bay and Wreck Bay villages, sending residents fleeing and campers packing.
It was very last minute. Everyone was trying to leave, and it's one way in, one way out. It's very, very messy.
While several air tankers dumped retardants, crews worked to backburn before a cool change brought relief. While the rain has worked to extinguish the main blaze, there's still a risk here, with fire continuing to burn inside the trees. Today, crews were mopping up, blacking out and cutting down.
We're assisting them in getting trees that are on the ground that may be like a candle, high up, burning high up. They can't get to with the hoses. And also we're making sure that there's trees here that are very unstable. This is an old type of forest here, this national park.
As the flames still flicker, ACT police and fire investigators are working to track down the arsonist. Meanwhile, South Coast police are doing the same at the site of a second suspicious fire that flared behind Stockland Nowra. Both incidents driving home the still very real risk of bushfire activity in the region.
We still really need people to remain vigilant, make sure they have their bushfire survival plans in place and are prepared for the event of fire.
Samara Gardner, Win News.
At long last, Wollongong shoppers will be allowed to ditch their face masks in supermarkets as the state government winds back restrictions in public places. From Friday, households will be allowed 30 guests. Weddings and funerals will be capped at 300, while social distancing will be maintained in places of worship. Up to 25 patrons will be allowed at smaller venues, but masks will no longer be compulsory at shopping venues.
However, if you are catching public transport, you are going to a place of worship, so whether you go to a church, a synagogue or a mosque, you will need to wear a mask.
The Premier hinted at a further easing in a fortnight. It comes as the federal government launches its public information blitz promoting the vaccine rollout. Despite yesterday's massive crowds, dozens of rescues and a shark sighting close to swimmers, thankfully no lives were lost on Illawarra beaches. Surf life-saving volunteers patrolled the water for extended hours, kept on their toes right up until sunset.
Swimmers scuttering up the shoreline, a scare for beachgoers at Bulletin on one of the busiest days of the year.
And they just said get out, and there's a shark in the water, and that's about it.
They said there was a... So we ran.
Oh no, we ran as fast as we could.
Lifesavers were alerted to the 1.5 metre shark at Bulletin just an hour before patrols were set to finish. The discovery made by chance while checking on some swimmers.
They thought the boys were drowning. And then so they sent the boat out to check if we were okay, and we were, and that's when they found the shark.
Sandon Point, Bulletin and Woonona beaches all closed. On the water and in the sky, no risks being taken after a number of similar sightings in recent weeks.
We've deployed further assets, being rescue watercrafts and further RIBs to the area to assist in patrolling. And we also have the UAVs, the drones as commonly known, to just patrol those areas.
Volunteers kept on their toes right to the end of a chaotic day. The Westpac rescue chopper capturing the jam-packed beaches and choked streets from the sky.
Yesterday we recorded 88 rescues at this point. There's still some data to come in as well, I believe. Over 17 incidents were responded to. 8 of those required ambulance treatment.
Amazingly, no lives lost on Illawarra beaches despite massive crowds taking risks in unpatrolled areas.
People were looking for parking and easy access to the beaches, so yes, anywhere where they could find parking or close to a beach entrance, they were certainly flocking to.
Surf lifesavers are preparing for another busy day on Sunday. Killy Royal, Win News.
Council workers and locals were quick to mop up mounds of rubbish around Illawarra beaches this morning, starting a mammoth day-long clean-up. An influx of visitors yesterday put extra demand on garbage services, prompting calls for better education around littering.
Bins overflowing and bags dumped as crowds create a rubbish pile-up at Illawarra beaches. This was the shocking reality along our pristine coastline, local residents jumping into action, scouring the sand for abandoned trash.
Everyone always complains about people coming to our beaches and leaving a lot of rubbish, and it is a serious issue. But no one really does anything about it, and I thought, I'm going to be walking the beach this afternoon. I may as well grab a couple of rubbish bags and ask if people to join me.
The clean-up is much about education as it was collection.
Hi guys, how you going? Yeah, we're just picking up some rubbish bags. I think there just needs to be some greater awareness about keeping our beaches potentially clean, or even just seeing us keep the beaches clean. That might help prevent the rubbish that we usually see turning up tomorrow.
Crowds and rubbish were mostly cleared by the morning, with council workers extending hours to manage the chaos.
Well, I think we did our best in as much that we had increased numbers of staff who started work very early in the morning. As a matter of fact, some crews have been out since 3 a.m. yesterday and didn't finish until about 8 p.m. in the evening.
While councils are deploying extra resources so the aftermath of yesterday's crowds is cleaned up quickly, Wollongong's Lord Mayor says more preventative action still needs to be taken.
I have written to the Minister for the Environment suggesting that there be a statewide education campaign about litter.
Killy Royal, Win News.
Tourists spent hours stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic today heading north from the south coast. Traffic crawled through the Nowra CBD, a common occurrence following a public holiday. It comes just days after Shoalhaven councillor Bob Proudfoot tabled a motion to speed up Nowra's bypass plans. Trapped in their cars, visitors could not agree more.
Do you think we need a bypass?
Yes, definitely. And everybody's blaming it on the bridge. It's not the bridge at all.
Shoalhaven City Council hopes to hold a meeting with the Minister for Infrastructure and Regional Development. The National Party has rolled out an ambitious plan to create almost 1 million manufacturing jobs by 2035. The policy's been welcomed by industry across the region, hopeful of job creation.
Going big to create jobs across regional Australia. The Federal National's handing down what it calls a manufacturing plan for the future, creating 800,000 jobs by 2035.
Australia used to be a major manufacturing nation. Now we hardly manufacture at all. What we've got to do is get back into that space.
Under the proposed plan, manufacturing employment will be doubled over the next 15 years. Investment also to be made in reliable energy options, including the coal industry. The push toward creating greater job opportunities welcome news for local stakeholders.
100% we back it, believe that it is huge. There's a lot of jobs in that particular industry in and around this area, which helps the economy.
The manufacturing and resource sector plays a key part in the region's economy, many jobs relying on its very existence. With the government now set to make changes, those on the ground say they're optimistic about what's ahead.
They say the greater the employment opportunities created, the better position the region will be in.
I think it's fantastic to see the government and the community getting behind the manufacturing sector and realising, of course, that this is vital to our way of life.
And let's get to the bottom of it. We're here to work with everybody. It's all about the job security, the job employments and the money coming into the area.
The Morrison government is yet to set a date on when it aims to reach a zero emissions target. Liam Tapper, Win News.
When we return tonight, a Bega Cheese homecoming for a suite of Aussie favourites. Plus, parents urged to get their kids' eyes tested before returning to school.
Nurse turned comedian Georgie Carroll is injecting the laughs. 6:30.
Wobble Tea Sprinklers. For large areas, Australian made and owned. Award-winning for their efficiency with add-on ability. And for smaller areas, use the Clever Drop Sprinkler, also with add-on ability. Wobble Tea, celebrating 22 years of Australian manufacturing. Available from leading hardware stores and rural retail outlets. Visit wobbletea.com.au.
Want to lower cholesterol by up to 9%? It's as easy as 1, 2. 2 of these Wheat Bix a day provides 2 grams of plant sterols, which are clinically proven to lower cholesterol by up to 9% in 4 weeks. Take 2 a day.
Let life challenge you, not your skin. Olay Power Duo, for plumper and more radiant skin from day one. Fear less, face more.
Discover new details about your family story with Ancestry DNA. Find out your ethnic mix. Connect to family, past and present, and discover what led to you. Order your kit at ancestry.com.au.
Are your drains constantly slow-moving, gurgling, smelly and overflowing? You may have a blockage. Give us a call. For $93 we'll come out and we'll clear the drain for you. Call Curran on 1300 792 082.
At Coles, we're helping lower the cost of easy dinners with your favourite pastas like Coles brand Durham wheat spaghetti, spirals, penne, macaroni and more. Down to just $1 each for a 500-gram pack. Coles, value the Australian way.
If you're experiencing abuse or domestic violence, contact 1-800-RESPECT for free, confidential advice and counselling, online and by phone 24/7. There's no place for abuse or domestic violence. Help is here. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
The power couple think they can ace this race.
We're pretty easy. It's actually a lot easier. Easy. Oh, no, I'm not doing that. Holly is more resilient than me.
Any woman is more resilient than you, bro.
The Amazing Race Australia starts 7:30 Monday.
A 15-year-old girl is searching for 2 good Samaritans who saved her after she almost drowned on Sunday. Summer Sashaki was swimming with her cousin near Thirroul when she began to sink and inhaled mouthfuls of water. Her mum rushed to help before the strangers arrived.
Out of nowhere, these 2 men come, swimming along, grab Summer. Summer's thrashing and, hitting him and what they do. He just yelled it up, pulled her around and just grabbed her, pulled her back into the beach.
I just want to thank them because honestly they did save my life. Like if they did not come out a minute, like the minute that they did, I would not be here, to be honest. Like I could not breathe and I'm so lucky that they were there.
The terrifying close call serves as a reminder to only swim at patrolled beaches between the flags. Optometrists are reporting a rise in the number of kids with eye issues thanks to spending more time on devices during the pandemic. With school back this week, they're urging parents to prioritise eye health and book a test.
Danielle Langling suspected her daughter might have been having issues with her vision, and when she started school, it was confirmed.
Her teachers actually said something, so I thought, why not? Something easy. And get it checked, and yeah.
A quick eye test revealed she was having trouble focusing at short distances.
What you see there for me?
Flower.
Good on you.
So she couldn't see things close to her. So it was good to see once she had the glasses, she could read so much better than we thought.
New figures show more than 55,000 children in the Illawarra may have missed an eye test last year and could have undiagnosed vision problems.
Because of the COVID, they've been spending a lot more time indoors and at home. And we've actually seen a prevalence of myopia increase, which is short-sightedness increase.
Some parents assume their children's eyesight is fine, or they think it's not possible to test a young child. But many optometrists can assess children from as young as 1 year old.
It makes a big difference. So earlier we see the child, if they do have a problem, we can definitely address it. So if there is a turn or if there's a lazy eye, we can treat it.
Most eye tests are covered by Medicare. Katie Gallagher, Win News.
The ink has dried on Bega Cheese's acquisition of Lion Dairy and Drinks. The deal, announced in November, sees brands such as Dairy Farmers, Masters, Big M and Pura change hands.
Bega Cheese hopes that Australians are as thrilled as we are that brands that they have grown up with, such as Masters, Farmers Union Ice Coffee and Big M, are returning to Australian ownership.
Bega Cheese made the acquisition for $530 million. The executive chair says the new products are in line with its brand.
Dairy Farmers and Farmers Union were founded before Federation, some 120, and there are some dairy farming families that have supplied dairy farmers for that entire period of time.
The deal comes as Bega Cheese expands its manufacturing sites. It is time for some midweek sport with Lyndall Rogers. And Lyndall, a Wollongong player, is making a name for himself in the A-League.
Yeah, that's right, Bruce. Dylan Ryan has tasted victory with Melbourne victory for the first time. And the Hawks bus gets the strongman treatment.
Nurse turned comedian Georgie Carroll is injecting the laughs. 6:30.
Tie yourself an epic reminder for this Saturday and get a USB rechargeable portable blender for $19.99. A 3-in-1 yogurt and cheesemaker plus food fermenter for $49.99. And a DeLonghi air fryer with a surround heating system for $159. Only at Aldi. Good. Different.
Some popular cereals contain over 25% sugar. That's more than a quarter of the cereal. Luckily, Weet-Bix is low in sugar, it's full of whole grain goodness and extra yum with a twist. Just add fruit, nuts and seeds. For a better brekkie, it's got to be Weet-Bix.
Come on, Lola. Wick sticks. Mom.
Hang on.
Bye, kids.
Bye.
Perfect for rapidly growing families. The all-new Hyundai Palisade.
Raw protein fuels your performance. 15 grams of protein from meat, nuts and cheese. Find your raw in the cheese aisle. Raw protein. Find your raw!
This is how we lay it down. A base of fluffy rice, juicy slow-cooked meat, fresh flavour-filled salsa, then fine-tune it your way. Best burrito in town?
Zamright. Get your Woolies worth with prices dropped on back-to-school favourites like champagne leg ham sliced or shaved from the deli, dropped to just $19 a kilo.
That's why I pick Woolies.
One of your favourites will go.
See ya.
Who goes in a massive ejection?
This report is brought to you by Nikolovsky Lawyers. With you all the way.
As the Hawks prepare to take on the Taipans in Cairns tomorrow night, here in Wollongong, the team bus got the strongman treatment. Troy Conley-Magnuson had a crack at pulling the coach and then a plane during his visit to Haas today. Ideal training for a world record attempt later this year.
Eyeing off his latest challenge.
Have you pulled anything like this before?
Never done a coach.
Troy Conley-Magnuson putting his strongman credentials to the test, attempting to pull the new Hawks 14-tonne bus 5 metres across the Haas runway.
Come on.
His first go not going to plan. Turns out the bus brakes were still on. Attempt 2 proving much smoother.
Go. Come on, Troy. Come on, Troy. Come on, Troy.
Troy conquering the coach, much to his relief and delight.
Well, if the bus breaks down on the way to the game, they know who to call now.
I'm available. Call me out, TC Towing.
Then it was on to the next challenge, a Fokker F27, weighing in at around 17 tonne.
Have attempted a plane before with flat tyres, so it didn't move.
Like with the bus, take 1 didn't go to script.
Come on, pull.
A few adjustments and some air into the tyres, and it was time for a couple of more attempts.
Troy has had a number of attempts at dragging this plane. It's been moved to a flatter bit of the runway, and he has one final crack to get it right.
Not to be for Troy, but invaluable practice as he prepares to re-attempt a world record.
So we had an attempt last year for the most cars pulled by a man with 16. Didn't get the 5 metres we needed for the record.
Troy hoping his Carpool for Kids world record attempt can raise up to $30,000 for Little Wings, Ronald McDonald House and the Sydney Children's Hospital Foundation.
You see this huge scar there? That's from when I had my left kidney removed when I was 4 years old. So I ruptured my left kidney, spent the next 3 years in and out of the Children's Hospital up at Sydney and Ronald McDonald House. So for me, it's a very personal wanting to give back.
Corey Hammond, WE News.
Wollongong's Dylan Ryan has chalked up his first win in the A-League. The 20-year-old playing all 90 minutes in the Melbourne Victory's 2-1 win over Perth.
The danger of Fornaroli against Ryan, who kept his feet, the youngster. That's a good win for him.
The Aussie under-23s defender well and truly held his own, marking Bruno Fornaroli, but the Glory striker did manage to slip his man for the opening goal in the 62nd minute, before the Victory hit back with 2 goals in the final 10 minutes.
First A-League goal comes against his former club.
Now they can win it.
Brimmer delivers. Handball, they suggest. And the penalty is given. What a turnaround at Amy Park. Jake Brimmer dispatches it.
It's not only Ryan's maiden win with the Victory, but the club's first of the season. A big boost for the youngster after a rough night at the office in his debut game on Saturday night, a 1-0 loss to Adelaide United. No Big Bash finals for Adam Zampa and Nick Maddinson. The South Coast cricketing duo unable to guide the Melbourne Stars to victory in what was a must-win final game of the home and away season against the Sydney Sixers. Maddinson smashing 22 off 15 balls as the Stars posted 6 for 177.
Oh, Maddinson! That is what this man can do! That is an enormous hit from Nick Maddinson.
They needed to restrict the Sixers to less than 73 in the first 10 overs to secure the Bash boost point and stay alive in the race for the top 5, but they couldn't do it. Zampa failing to make an impact with the ball, but the silver lining is he has been picked in the Aussie T20 squad for the upcoming tour of New Zealand. And Bruce, that is sport for this Wednesday evening.
Terrific, Lyndall. Lovely to have your company as well. Thank you very much for that. Time to talk weather with Chris Polzot. And Chris, we wanted this cool change, but do we want this much rain?
Good evening to you, Bruce and Lyndall. Yes, we're looking at several days of rainfall now, and it's going to be a wet end to the week. The full forecast is up next.
Up next, can a $24 million ad blitz help convince more Aussies to get a COVID vaccine? What will our lives look like if Google does pull its go-to search service from Australia? Plus, nurse-turned-comedian Georgie Carroll administers 50 cc's of laughter into the show Stat. The project, next.
Don't run out of data this summer with Vodafone's $30 prepaid plus plan. Get a huge 40 gigabytes total data on your first 3 recharges, then infinite data to browse at speeds of up to 1.5 megabits per second until your recharge expires. You rule with Vodafone.
The Nick Scali January sale ends Sunday. Save up to 50% off a huge range of quality furniture. Up to 50% off. The Nick Scali January sale ends Sunday.
Get your career on track with Illawarra iTech, hands-on accredited training in hospitality, gaining the skills to get into your desired career. Come in and see our facilities. Enrolling now. Call Illawarra iTech today to see what you can achieve.
Are your drains constantly slow-moving, gurgling, smelly and overflowing? You may have a blockage. Give us a call. For $93 we'll come out and we'll clear the drain for you. Call Curran on 1300 792 082.
Get off work. Get on board. Get on track. What's on? A night off. Fun on. Blow off plans, stay on the couch. Come on, play on. On to this, off to that. Hold on. Drive on and on. Off the beaten track, off-road, on-road, off-road. Whatever you're into. Skoda. Simply clever.
A marriage breakdown can throw your whole world into turmoil. The sooner you gain expert advice, the faster the resolution, so everyone can move on. Nikolovsky Lawyers, with you all the way.
This report, brought to you by Southern Classic Cars Group Wollongong and Albion Park, in business for over 28 years.
Welcome back. The heatwave has finally broken. Maximum temperatures were around 5 to 9 degrees below the monthly average across the region. Tonight's weather photo is from Hans. Hans snapped the cloud arriving over North Gong yesterday afternoon. Very grey and bringing some evening showers. Top shot, and thank you very much. First, let's check some rainfall totals in the 24 hours to 9 a.m. this morning. The heaviest falls were pretty concentrated around the Ulladulla area. Broome topped the list, 32 millimetres into the gauge. Jervis Bay, 11 millimetres. Checking some details now from today. Cooler with plenty of cloud and some drizzle today. Bulli and Wollongong still had a warm and humid start. 20 degrees. Bowral, Mossvale and Robertson woke up to 15 degrees, but it did feel several degrees cooler as that southeasterly breeze kicked up. And Kiama saw about 4 millimetres of rain to 5 p.m. today. Going further south, very overcast with showers coming in off the water there. Winds gusted to 50 kilometres an hour just off the coast of Narooma at Montague Island today. Bega topped out at 24 degrees. On the satellite, a high pressure system near Tasmania is extending a ridge into southern New South Wales tonight, while a trough over the state's northeast stalls and weakens. On the synoptic chart, the high will move slowly east, reaching the southern Tasman Sea by Friday as another trough deepens over the west, and this pattern will result in showers and generally mild temperatures. Moving on to the waters, it'll be cloudy with possible showers most likely across the north. A strong wind warning will remain in place for the Illawarra coast, so please take care with any coastal activities tomorrow. To the forecast, it'll be cloudy with a higher chance of showers at Picton, 23 degrees, 18 for Goulburn and Nowra, 21 will be the max. On the south coast, also a high chance of showers for Batemans Bay, 22 degrees and 20 there for Bega. Now in Wollongong, there's more showers tomorrow, 21 degrees will be at the top. In the days ahead, Friday will be cloudy with a high chance of showers again. Saturday looking similar, possible thunderstorms during the afternoon, and then on Sunday still cloudy but with a medium chance of showers. That's all for weather this evening. Bruce, it's back to you.
I just need to find my umbrella. Thank you very much for that, Chris. And thank you for your company this Wednesday, January 27. That is how we saw your news. To find out what role you can play to help secure the future of local media, please visit saveourvoices.com.au. I'll see you throughout the evening with news updates, and the entire team is looking forward to your company tomorrow at 6.
This has been a Win News presentation. Win News, regional Australia's #1 news source.